triple-double, and then you had 4 of the 5 Clippers starters with 19-plus points. Let's go ahead and hear from Clippers head coach Tyronn Lue addressing the media after the big win.
You ready now? You want to look at the stat sheet first, Coach Tyler?
I'm good. Go ahead. I can do both.
When you talked about wanting to play better, was this an example of that? And what was behind you guys playing at a higher level tonight?
Yes, this is what I was talking about. Like I said, our fans was unbelievable tonight. And just be able to come home, play our first playoff game in Intuit Dome. It was very exciting. And our fans came out. They showed up and showed out. And like I said, guys played better, played well. Norm was huge for us tonight. Scoring the basketball, but also making the right play in the pick and roll versus the blitzes. And, we got to build off of it. Like I said, it's only 2 games. But today, I liked our approach. I like what we did defensively. And, still going to be a tough series. It ain't over because we, had a blowout. It's only 1 game. So we got to be ready to come about that on Saturday.
Ty, what is it about Nico that you can just throw him into a playoff series no matter what and he'll deliver every time?
Because he's been in big games. He understands his role. And he's a star in his role. Whatever we ask Nico to do, he does it every single night. Whether it's 1 shot, whether it's 10 shots, whether it's no shots, he's going to be the same person, same player every night. And that's what we love about him. Unbelievable connector, and everybody loves playing with him.
I felt like James had a really good control over the game today at 13 in that first quarter, only 1 turnover, 9 assists. Spent most of that second half, I think, kind of just finding guys. What did you make of how he kind of approached and handled the flow of the game today, seeing when he needs to score or get guys involved?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. A masterpiece of just, taking what the defense gives you. If they're going to be in a drop, we want to attack downhill. If they're going to be in a blitz, making the right read. And just the biggest thing for us, just watching film tomorrow, just, guys, getting to their spots, and it's different spots than we've been in all year. And so it's taking some time to kind of really find the flow and the rhythm. But, game 4, we should be a lot better, understanding what we're looking for and how we want to set up. So I thought James did a really good job of just being patient and taking what the defense gave him.
See, just the atmosphere in here. You had so many guys who used to play for this team come through tonight. Just other guys who play in the league. How do you feel seeing that, in the first playoff game in this building?
No, it feels good. Seeing CP, seeing Pat Bev, and Pat Bev with the Tupac jersey on, so, it just feels good. Like I said, the series is far from over. We understand that. But tonight, it was a good showing for us. So we got to come out, like I said, and validate this on Saturday.
Coach, early in the game, Denver hit you guys with a couple baseline cuts for layups and dunks. But it seemed like in that first quarter, after that you guys really tightened up defensively. Didn't give up 30 points in any of the quarters. What did you guys see that allowed you guys to kind of tighten it up and not give away those baseline cuts that you saw in that first quarter?
Yeah, we just looking at it, we thought that Jokers knew how we've been playing, the first 2 games, and like I said, the best player in the world, he was baiting us, early on in that first quarter where we were coming, and he saw us coming, but he acted like he didn't, and he was really picking us apart. And so in that second quarter on through, we did a good job of just really settling out on those corner cuts, kind of trying to stay at home, especially if Zoo's guarding them, and just kind of mix it up. But like I said, JVG did a good job of just adjusting to what we need to adjust to, once they got those corner cuts, and was able to take care of it after that.
Ty, kind of after game 1, I'm back here. After game 1, you said that you kind of feel like the week off going into game 1 kind of could have impacted you guys in terms of fatigue and guys looking a little bit rusty. How do you feel that the guys have kind of rebounded from that and get into the flow of this series?
Yeah, I think they've done a good job of rebounding. Like you said, 11 turnovers tonight. I think, with our core guys, I think we might have had 8 or 9. So we understand we take care of the basketball. We can get really good shots. And just don't get bored with the process. Understand what they're doing, and for every situation they have, we have a different alignment to get to, but we got to do it with pace and get to our spots. Just don't get bored with it. Just take what the defense is giving you. If it's not your night tonight to get shots, make other guys better. And I thought Kawhi and James did a really good job of that tonight.
Coach, so also in the second half, Kawhi had a nasty in and out crossover. He got in one play.
Kind of talk about what he is like after like practice and before practice, how hard he works. Cause nobody really knows the inside story. But what kind of can you tell us about Kawhi's work ethic?
You see where he's at today. You know, I think all the injuries, you know, everything he's been through to get to this point. Like I said, to work hard to get back for the playoffs and to be at full strength. And so that right there just tells you everything about Kawhi. He could have easily packed it in this year, you know, but he wanted to play. He wanted to be out there and help his teammates. And like I said, he's back to being a player, you know, a healthy player, which he's a very great player when he's healthy. And also just give a lot of credit to Ben Simmons. You know, I thought he came in and changed the game in that first quarter just with his pace. I thought he did a good job of showing Joker different coverages, and his pace and everything was really good for us. And so everybody, like I said, chipped in, and it was a team effort. You know, Norm back on track, and so I'm feeling really good about, you know, where we at. But we still have 2 more games, and just kind of go from there.
Ty, on a night like tonight where there's so many positives to take away from the game, is there one specific thing that stood out to you offensively or defensively?
Just taking care of the basketball. You know, we talked about it, you know, and even tonight we talked about taking care of the basketball and rebounding the basketball. And so to out-rebound them by 10 after they out-rebounded us by, I think, 18 last game, that's a huge turnaround for us. And so just lock into the small things, into the details, and when we do that, you know, we'll be fine.
Coach, how much credit goes to Jeff Van Gundy for the team's defense?
All the credit. Yeah.
He was moving, screaming, and very active in the bench.
All the credit.
His team's effort tonight. Let's go ahead and hear from James Harden. He had 20 in the Clippers win.
James, I know you mentioned the level of excitement and the expectations that you had for this building and playoff game 1 for Into a Dome. Just what can you say after having played in it?
It's a good start. It's a good game 1.
From the fan
game 1 into it.
Yeah, from the fan aspect though, just what was the energy?
It was cracking. It was loud. It was just how we expected it to be. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why we jumped out to a huge lead. You know what I mean? They got behind us and we just rode that wave.
I feel like you kind of made it a point of emphasis to be aggressive early. Was that something you were thinking about coming into this game that you felt this team needed?
As always. You know, me being aggressive is not just scoring, it's, you know, facilitating, it's doing other things. So, you know, I got some shots to fall early, and that kind of just, you know, got the guys rallied up, and, everybody made shots. You know, we had opportunities, especially in the first 2 games, and shots that we didn't make, you know, which this league is a make or miss league, you know what I mean? So we knew other guys, you know, that hadn't, you know, made shots in the first 2 games were going to make shots, and, you know, we did that tonight.
James, you guys finished the first quarter on a 10-0 run, and it seems like from then on out, you guys imposed you guys' will defensively. You never really looked back. Why are you guys so locked in defensively? I know game 1 you guys fell short, but it seems like since then you guys have been locked in. You guys haven't really had any letdowns.
We've been that way all year long.
Yeah.
Like that's our calling. Like we wouldn't even be in the postseason if it wasn't for our defense. So we know, like, going into games, like no matter what happens offensively, you know, we gotta be on point defensively. That's gonna keep us in the game. You know, so we've been like that all year, and you know, as much as perfect as we want to be, like we aren't. You know what I mean? So we make mistakes, we cover for each other, and we just continue to, you know, be resilient and keep fighting defensively. And, you know, the first game, you know, we 20 turnovers on the road. You can't win. You know, it's very, very difficult to win, and we still gave ourselves a chance. Tonight, I'm gonna be at 10. Like, that's the game right there. Game 2, we had 10 as well. So you do that, and you rebound the basketball, you make shots, you give yourself a chance to win.
James, too, right? I'm curious to know, like, what the conversation at halftime was. Like, you guys had a lead, and you know that you played well to start that second half, and you have control of the game. Like, what was the conversation like to just amongst each other to maintain control that y'all built and established?
There were some things that we still could have got better at, like pick and roll. Jokic is up. He's doing a good job of being up. And, you know, the first half, Zoo had like 3 or 4 opportunities where he got the ball into the basket and he missed the layup. I think he got fouled one time, and I forgot what happened the other 2 times. But, like, Zoo, go dunk the ball. Like, finish those plays. You know what I mean? So there's things like that offensively that we can get better at. and there's some things that we adjusted to defensively that we saw that they were doing that we felt we can get better at. And so it's just, it's constant. Like, there's no let-ups, there's always communication, and there's always, room for improvement for us.
Was good, and also great game for you today, man. Also, I want to say, you being the vet, the OG of the team, what are you telling your teammates after that victory that y'all just had? Like, hey, it's just one game, but let's try to continue this throughout the rest of the season, or the rest of the series.
We got to start preparing for Game 4 now. You know what I mean? Like, we know what we're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, Jokic is something special. And those guys, him, Aaron KG and Jamal and Michael, they've been together for so many years, won a championship together. So they've been down in the series before. Like, for us, it's just, we can't get we're not celebrating like we do what we're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So I've been in playoffs for 16 years, and for us, it's just, preparing ourselves now for Game 4. And the earlier we can get a jump on that, the better off we'll be. But it's gonna be even tougher for Game 4. We gotta mentally prepare and know that. So tomorrow, film, we'll go over some things, we'll walk over some things, and we'll be ready to go for Saturday.
James, the Lue JVG coaching pairing, for those that haven't been able to be in a practice or a huddle, what makes them so effective? Yeah.
It's like the perfect relationship. I don't know. They know what the hell they're doing. You know what I mean? Seriously, like they're always on the same page. Like, they don't overstep each other's toes. They, tell us what we need to do on both ends of the ball, and we go out there and do it. But it's just like, they yin yang, literally yin yang twins. It's fucking hot up here. Seriously.
James, you guys have been priding yourselves on your defense, and it feels like your defense wouldn't be as good as it would be without camaraderie and chemistry you guys have. Like, we've seen the team photos you guys post and everything. Can you just tell us about, like, what's that chemistry been like and that camaraderie as you head into that playoffs? Because you can see everybody celebrating for each other.
Very fun. Like, this is when you think about an NBA team, this is what you envision. I've been on several different teams, and it's probably one of the coolest teams in the sense of like everybody understands who each other is, accept them for who they are, and go out there and compete and have each other's back. Knowing like who's the guys, this is what you're great at, this is what you're great at, this is what your weakness is, but we can cover up for that. Like, we all know, and that's what makes this team so special. So, we got a big Game 4 for us, and this is our first time, going through this postseason. And as long as we continue to communicate and have each other's back, like, good things about to happen for us.
James, you had mentioned like it's one of the coolest teams you ever been on.
Yep.
You talk about just what it means to use to play with a bunch of selfless guys.
Yeah.
Guys who just want to play defense and want to win and have a chemistry and sacrifice.
That's a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, guys probably feel like they need to be shooting the basketball more, or getting more touches, or running more plays for whatever you want to call it. Like, these guys know that the ball's gonna get to them eventually. You know what I mean? However that looks. And T-Lue and our coaching staff do an unbelievable job of like mixing it in. For me, my job is easy. You know what I mean? I can score, but I'm the facilitator as well. So I can understand when guys are getting shots, when guys are going, and when it's time for me to exert myself. And that's the cool part about it. You know what I mean? I'm like running the show, but understanding like, hey, Zoo might have it going tonight, or Norm, or Y might have it going. And I'm cool enough to where if I don't got it going, or if those guys got it going, I can facilitate and make other guys better, or get those guys who got it going that night the ball. So, it's possession by possession, is game by game. Tonight it was a collective group. Last game we see Y had it going. You know what I mean? First game I had it going. So it's just it's a balance of just having each other's back, see who has it going, and then just riding the game. And it's going to dictate. It's going to show you, who got it going. So for our team, we got each other's back, and that's it's pretty cool to be around.
James, I just want to know, what was the feeling like playing with such a loud and supportive crowd during the whole game?
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you like the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.